Shield these four accounts before you lose your memory. Or a judge seizes 100%. 2026 warning. Most people think the biggest threat to their retirement savings is a stock market crash, a bad quarter, a recession. But there is a threat that is quieter, more certain, and far more expensive than any market downturn. And it does not come from Wall Street. It comes from a courthouse. Today I am going to show you exactly how the American legal system is designed to drain your retirement accounts the moment a doctor decides your brain is no longer reliable. And I am going to show you the four accounts you need to shield right now, while you still can. B-roll. Quiet suburban neighborhood, morning light. Let me tell you about a woman I will call Eleanor. Eleanor is 71. Her husband has been her partner for 46 years. Last spring he had a stroke. Not fatal, he survived. But the neurologist used a word that changed everything. Incapacitated. Eleanor is sharp. She is organized. She had the marriage certificate, the doctor's note, and her husband signed last will and testament in her hands when she walked into that bank. She asked to access his retirement account to pay his medical bills. The bank froze the account on the spot. Not because Eleanor did anything wrong. Not because the bank manager was cruel. But because federal regulations require financial institutions to freeze accounts when there is any indication of cognitive impairment on the account holder. The bank had a legal obligation to lock her out. Eleanor went home that night with a $10, zero medical bill, and zero access to the $580,000 her husband spent his entire career building. That is not a hypothetical. That is happening right now in probate courts across this country. And the reason it keeps happening is a myth so deeply embedded in American financial thinking that most people will go to their graves believing it. The myth is this: if you have a will, your family is protected. That statement is not just wrong, it is dangerously incomplete. Here is the truth. A last will and testament is a death document. It has one function and one function only. It distributes your assets after you are gone. While you are alive, even if you are completely incapacitated, a will has zero legal authority. It cannot authorize your spouse to pay a hospital bill. It cannot unlock your IRA. It cannot do anything until after a funeral. Think about that. The document most Americans point to when someone asks if they have their affairs in order does absolutely nothing during the years when cognitive decline, stroke, or dementia is actually happening. And those years can last a long time. Alzheimer's disease has an average progression of 8 to 12 years. 8 to 12 years of medical bills, care facilities, and financial decisions that your will cannot touch. So what does happen when the bank freezes the account and the family has no legal document to override it? Conservatorship. And this is where the real cost begins. B-roll, courthouse exterior, legal paperwork. Conservatorship, also called guardianship in some states, is the legal process by which a court appoints someone to manage the financial and personal affairs of a person who can no longer do so themselves. It sounds reasonable. In practice, it is one of the most expensive legal procedures a family can be forced into. Here is how it works step by step. The family hires an attorney just to file the initial petition. In a mid-cost state, that retainer runs between $6,000 and $10,000. In California or New York, closer to $14,000 to $18,000. And remember, the impaired person's accounts are frozen. That retainer comes out of pocket. The court schedules a hearing. In most major metro areas right now, that hearing is 3 to 6 months out. The probate dockets are packed. Before the hearing, the court orders an independent medical evaluation, another $750 to $500. The court also appoints what is called a guardian ad litem. This is a court-assigned attorney whose job is to represent the interests of your incapacitated spouse, even though you have been representing those interests for the past 4 decades. This person charges $250 to $400 per hour. Their report alone typically costs the estate between $20,500 and $5,000. And here is the part that should genuinely anger you. The guardian ad litem is paid out of the frozen assets. The court releases a portion of your spouse's frozen money to pay the attorney the court appointed to investigate whether you deserve access to your spouse's frozen money. The court uses the patient's own savings to fund the investigation into whether the family can use the patient's savings. Once conservatorship is granted, it does not end. Every single year, the appointed conservator must file a forensic-level accounting with the probate court, every dollar in, every dollar out, every receipt. Most families cannot do this themselves. They hire a CPA who specializes in fiduciary accounting. That runs $2,000 to $3,500 per year. The attorney charges another $500 per year to file it with the court. Run the 5-year math on a $500,000 estate. Initial attorney fees, $8,000. Court and medical fees, $3,000. Guardian ad litem, $4,000. 5 years of CPA fiduciary accounting, $10,000. 5 years of attorney annual filing, $7,500. Bond premiums, miscellaneous certified copies, court appearances, $2,500. Total $35,000. 35 blurs. 00 drained out of a retirement account just for the legal privilege of allowing a wife to pay her husband's medical bills with her husband's own money. Now let me show you what the alternative costs. 3 years before the stroke, the same man spends one Saturday with an estate planning attorney. He signs a properly drafted durable power of attorney. He establishes a revocable living trust. He retitles his accounts and updates his beneficiary designations. Total cost, approximately $3,000 to $4, $500. One time. Done. After the stroke, his wife walks into the same bank. She presents the durable power of attorney. The bank manager reviews it, confirms it is valid, and asks what she would like to do. No judge, no court, no guardian ad litem, no annual accounting, no CPA, no probate. Cost to the estate over 5 years, zero. $4,000 in proactive planning eliminates $35,000 in reactive legal cost. That is not a financial return. That is asset preservation at the worst possible moment. Now let me walk you through the 4 accounts you must shield and exactly how to shield each one. B-roll, financial documents, home interior account number 1, your retirement accounts, your IRA, your 401k rollover, your Roth, your SEP, your 403b. These accounts are governed by the financial institution that holds them. If your name is the only name on the account and you become incapacitated, your spouse cannot touch them without a court order. The solution is a durable power of attorney with specific language authorizing your agent to access retirement accounts, take distributions, manage rollovers, handle required minimum distributions, and adjust investment allocations. The word durable is not optional. A standard power of attorney expires the moment you become incapacitated. A durable power of attorney specifically survives incapacity. That single word is the difference between your spouse having access and your spouse being locked out. Once you have the document signed and notarized, take it to your custodian, whether that is Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, or anyone else, and submit it for their review. Most institutions also have their own internal POA forms. Sign both, belt and suspenders. Also confirm your beneficiary designations. Primary beneficiary, contingent beneficiary, make sure the names are current. Divorce, remarriage, a child who passed, these designations override everything else in your estate plan. Account number 2. Your taxable brokerage and investment accounts. Same durable POA applies for incapacity protection during your lifetime. But here you have an additional tool, the transfer on death designation, also called a TOD registration. TOD allows the account to pass directly to your named beneficiary at death, bypassing probate entirely. For incapacity, the durable POA handles access. For death transfer, the TOD handles the bypass. Use both. If you have a revocable living trust, go one step further and retitle the brokerage account into the name of the trust. The trust becomes the legal owner. You remain the trustee during your lifetime. If you become incapacitated, your successor trustee steps in immediately. No court, no waiting. Account number 3, your checking and savings accounts. This is where I see the most common and most fixable mistake. Many married couples maintain a primary checking account in only one spouse's name, sometimes for accounting simplicity, sometimes out of habit. Stop doing that today. Add your spouse as a joint owner with right of survivorship. When both names are on the account with right of survivorship, either spouse can access the funds at any time, regardless of the other's cognitive status. The bank freeze that destroyed Eleanor's access to her husband's IRA does not apply the same way to a properly structured joint account. On top of joint ownership, add payable on death designations, also called POD, for any account you want to transfer outside of probate at death. Same concept as TOD, but specifically for bank accounts. Account number 4, your real property, your primary home, rental properties, vacation home. If your home is titled in your name only and you become incapacitated, your spouse cannot sell it, refinance it, or take out a home equity line without going back to conservatorship court, not even to raise cash for your medical care. There are 3 solutions depending on your state. First option, joint tenancy with right of survivorship, both spouses on the deed. Simple and effective. Second option, a ladybird deed, also called an enhanced life estate deed, available in states including Florida, Texas, Michigan, Vermont, and West Virginia. This lets you retain full control during your lifetime and transfers the property automatically at death without probate. Third option, and the most comprehensive, retitle the property into your revocable living trust. Trust owns the property. You manage it as trustee. If you become incapacitated, your named successor trustee steps in without any court involvement. B-roll. Family at kitchen table, evening light, beyond those 4 accounts. There are 3 supporting documents every household needs. First, a healthcare power of attorney. This authorizes your chosen agent to make medical decisions if you cannot. Without it, even a spouse may be legally excluded from those conversations. Second, an advanced healthcare directive, sometimes called a living will. This spells out your wishes for end-of-life care so that those decisions are not left to a medical team who does not know you. Third, and this one is consistently overlooked, a HIPAA authorization. Without a signed HIPAA release, federal privacy law prevents doctors and hospitals from discussing your condition with your own family. Your spouse can be physically in the building and still be stonewalled at the nurse's station. These 3 documents cost almost nothing to add alongside a durable power of attorney, and without them, even the best financial planning leaves gaps. Here is your action checklist. 1. Call an estate planning attorney this week. Not your business lawyer, not a general practitioner, a specialist in estate planning. 2. Get the durable power of attorney, healthcare POA, advanced directive, and HIPAA authorization drafted and executed within 30 days. 3. If your estate exceeds $300,000 in non-retirement assets, seriously evaluate a revocable living trust. 4. If you create a trust, fund it. Do not let the attorney hand you documents and walk you out the door without retitling your accounts and real estate. An unfunded trust does nothing. 5. Audit every account ownership structure and every beneficiary designation. Joint ownership where appropriate. TOD and POD designations where appropriate. Trust ownership where appropriate. 6. Store your originals in a fireproof location. Give copies to your agents. Make sure the people you trust know where to find them. Now, I want to leave you with one thought that I hope stays with you. There is a deadline embedded in all of this that nobody talks about. To sign a durable power of attorney or establish a living trust, you must have legal capacity at the moment of signing. That means you must understand what you are signing, why you are signing it, and what it does. If you are diagnosed with moderate to advanced Alzheimer's, that window has closed. You cannot sign these documents. The legal system has no workaround for this. The only path forward at that point is conservatorship. Cognitive decline does not announce itself. It arrives gradually, often invisibly, and by the time the neurologist writes mild cognitive impairment in the chart, you may already be on the wrong side of the legal capacity threshold. The window is open right now. It will not always be. Shield the 4 accounts. Sign the documents. Have the conversation with the people you love while you still have time to protect them. Because the day you need this checklist is the day you will not have the capacity to act on it. If this video helped clarify something you had not considered, drop a comment and tell me what document you are handling first. The durable POA, the healthcare directive, the HIPAA authorization, or the full trust. I read every comment and I want to see this community taking action. Subscribe and stay with us. There is more coming.